Okay, so before we get into my team, let's just talk about Dark Dimension 1 and 2 really quick and about what they really are. Um, just for people who don't know, and I'll put a timestamp in the description so that you can kind of skip by this if you're not interested in this, if you already know how Dark Dimension 1 and 2 work. So I'm not going to talk about Dark Dimension 3 besides just little snippets because I don't know too much about it. I mean, I know the basics, but I haven't started it, so I don't really feel comfortable talking about it. And just FYI, there are people who are much more experienced out there that have better guides than me. I'm just kind of going over my experience. Um, and if you're interested, just like message me or something. I'll tell you who to go talk, who to go check out. There's a lot of people who've played for a lot longer than I have. Okay, so Dark Dimension 1 is basically um, the first like end game mode that you can try. And the requirements here are that your entire team has to be 6 stars or higher. So what that essentially means is that you have to get characters, 5 characters to 6 stars before you can even try Dark Dimension. But once you have 5 characters to 6 stars, the more that you bring up to 6 stars, the more that can play in. So if you have like 15 guys, you can make 3 attacks. Like if your first team dies, like so this is just a mishmash. I didn't really have a very good Dark Dimension 1 team because I didn't really focus on getting people to 6 stars. It just happened. Um, like, so say this whole team dies in the first attack and I do some amount of damage. I can attack again and that damage accumulates. I can attack again with guys that are left in my roster that are still 6 stars. Um, and every day my guys heal up, but the enemy node does not heal up. So even if you only have a single team and you can't beat it, you can still do damage every day, even if it's just a little bit of damage. The drawback there is that if there's healers, sometimes they can heal more than you do. At least I think. It doesn't really happen that often, but I think that can happen. So that's something to keep aware of. But for Dark Dimension 1, I didn't really build up teams in here specifically for Dark Dimension 1. I just, sometimes you get a Mega Orb and you get 100 shards of somebody and it brings them up to 6 stars. Or I got the thing up. That was one of the first characters that I got up to 6 stars because I drew 5 red stars with him, and so I really wanted to put some power into him. So there were various reasons why these guys are at 6 stars. The Hulk because of achievements, Wolverine because of uh, dailies. So that's why I have these guys. Basically, Dark Dimension 1 was a super grind. I just had to attack a bunch of times because I didn't really have a good team for it. But now let's talk about Dark Dimension 2. You don't have to actually beat Dark Dimension 1 to get into Dark Dimension 2, but it's helpful because beating Dark Dimension 1, you get a lot of rewards. You get a lot of these orange, gear, and you get a lot of this like SBCs. This is really important for bringing your guys up to the higher gear tiers, and that's exactly what you need for Dark Dimension 2. Dark Dimension 2 requires 5 characters at gear tier 13. For Dark Dimension 2, you really want to focus on bringing up a team of people who are going to work together. I'm going to go through my team really quick. So I just started Dark Dimension 2 this morning, and I'm already on the 5th node. These guys are all at full health. You can see I haven't healed them up. All of these nodes were beat in one try. I haven't needed to heal. The only times that have gotten close has been Minerva. Almost died a couple of times, and that's really the only time when you have any trouble, because if anyone else dies, Minerva can just revive them. So that's huge. So she's really important to this team. She's not as important as I thought, actually, and I'll show you why in a second, but a lot of the classic guys will have Minerva doing all of the damage, but without Star-Lord here, she's not doing all that much. But she is doing some healing, so that's really important. So, speaking of that, let's just go into the team. So, most of these characters are not super easy to get. So, sorry, this isn't like a super free-to-play friendly. Although I think you can get all these characters free-to-play. They're just hard to get. So, first off, Spider-Man Symbiote and Carnage. These guys are the ones who are doing 99% of the damage, probably. Maybe not 99%, but probably 90% with those two combined. The The reason is they go a lot more often than anyone else. You'll kind of see this in combat. Anytime anyone dips below 25%, Carnage gives all the symbiotes extra speed bar, which is big. They're also just fast, and they, with everyone on this team, the enemies all get pretty much slowed. So these guys do a lot of the damage. Minerva's really here mostly for healing. Her ultimate does a ton of damage because these guys have so much health that 15% of their health pool is a huge amount on each person. So she's really good, and then anytime anyone dies, she heals, and she also just keeps putting heals on everyone with her basic, and then she can revive, which is really important, but it seems like it'd be good, but she's actually the one at most risk of going down, so I haven't really used revive yet, but it's potentially there. Like, for example, if Hela dies and you don't sacrifice the skeleton, if you revive Hela, she'll pull back. She'll make a new skeleton, so you'll have 2 of them. I've done that a couple times in raids. It's really cool. Hela's here mostly because I leveled her up first because she's such a good character, and I use his guardians a lot, and so I just kind of thought that she would be great for this, and I think she is. She's not that important to the team, but the thing that she really brings is the skeleton. I think a lot of people call him Greg. I'm not actually really sure why. But the skeleton, whenever he dies, Minerva gets speed bar, and it also removes speed bar from every enemy. So that's super big. And it also heals her a little bit, so that's cool. And it just tanks some hits, so that's really important. She also can spread, I have her death knives, or whatever it is, T-forwards, so she can spread like 4 negative effects to every enemy on the screen, which is really good sometimes when they have, 10 people out. So that's pretty good. And then really, Emma, she's just the huge support here. And there's 2 reasons why Emma's so important on this team. Purge and Cleanse. And I'm not sure if I'm using those right, but basically how I think of it is Cleanse is on your own team. It's removing negative effects from your own team, and she does that. And she also purges positive effects from the other team. I don't have either of those T-forward. I could, I just haven't done it yet. Just because I'm very stingy with my T4s. But I probably should. They're both really good. So right now, she'll only remove 3 negative effects from my own team, and then maybe just 3 or 4 from the entire rest of the enemy team. And you'll see, but those are her special and her bait and her ultimate. Actually, let's just get into it, and you guys can see how this team kind of works. Hopefully, I don't get stomped in this one. I can't imagine that this team will just insta-win through all of Dark Dimension 2, but so far, that's how it's been going. And the reason is because the team comp is just really good, and everyone kind of has self-sustain. And so I haven't really had too many issues. Although, like I said, there have been a couple of times when Minerva got a little close. Okay, so we start off with a skeleton. I think I'm going to try and focus Crossbones. So he's just going to put a little heal block or whatever. So since there's no negative effects out on the field, just to start off, I'm going to do this Carnage ultimate ability. It's just a big damage, and it gives a bunch of bleed. That's super important right now. Alright, so now I have Spider-Man's ultimate ability, and I think I'm going to put it over here on this other Crossbones. Basically, I want to stun one and try and kill the other. So this one's really big because not only does it stun, but it slows everyone. I have a T-forward, so it slows everyone down for 2 turns. That's really, really important because when everyone's slowed, it means that they're taking turns less often, and you're moving really fast because your guys... Emma already takes away like 10% of their speed, and these guys the 2 symbiotes can gain speed, so that's really important. So I can Emma ult, but I don't really need to because this removes all positive effects. This removes all negative effects from my team, so it's 3, and this one is 3, which is more than they usually have anyways. But if I T-forward these, it would remove all. So I'm just going to do a basic attack. We didn't stun this guy, so let's try and kill him. Okay. So now this Death Knives is T-forward. That means it's upgraded all the way to level 7. It spreads 4 negative effects, so I'm just going to do this. Now everyone has all these like double stacks of bleeds. It's really big. So I could ultimate right now. This is really good because it steals 15% health, and these guys have such huge health pools that it does a lot of damage. I don't really want to right now because nobody's really hurt, so I want to save it. So I'm just gonna do this. So he heal block. That's really annoying. Because these guys really kind of depend on healing a lot. But that's okay because I've got Emma here. So she can clear that if I need to. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This one extends all of their negative effects by a turn. And so you can already see, like, it's already really annoying for them. They have all these bleeds, they have slows, and it's just going to... Now, there's one problem here is Jessica Jones can purge a lot of those, so we probably want to kill her. I'm going to go ahead and do this, just because no one's really low on my team, but I may as well. No one has negative effects, so I'm not going to bother. And we'll get rid of... we'll flip those positive effects over there. I'm going to just do this one, give him some disrupted. Alright. He still has taunt, unfortunately. Pretty annoying. Yeah, because she cleared everything. So that's pretty annoying, because, you know, we had a big combo there, but that's okay, because we can just start spreading negative effects again. Spider-Man Symbiote's basic actually does double defense down, which is a pretty big deal. So I could turn the tables on this guy. So this ultimate removes 3 positives from everyone, and it makes the 2 highest attack people on the field, either on my side or on their side, attack him, and it blinds him. The blind isn't that important. The purge isn't that important because there's really only 2 positive effects on the field. So I don't think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do this. That's all I really needed anyway. So we really want to kill this guy because he's going to blow up on us and it's going to really hurt. She's offense down, but it doesn't really matter because she doesn't do that much damage anyway. Okay, so this is kind of dangerous because if Emma goes down, it's not too bad because I can revive her, but still, I don't want her to die. Okay, so she's okay. Now we're going to kill Crossbones. So I'm probably going to skip some of this battle because you guys don't want to see the whole thing. It lasts a really long time. I want to say thanks to a couple of people who kind of prepped me for Dark Dimension 2. That really helped me prepare this team. 2 Blue and Bandaman both gave me really good advice because they both started Dark Dimension 2 before I did. 2 Blue finished it before I even started Dark Dimension 1, I think. And he kind of used the like rocket BKT approach, which I honestly would work fine, but I just wanted to use some of the characters that I really like. I really like Carnage, Spider-Man Symbiote, so good. I think another character that could swap in here is Venom. Just having the 3 symbiotes would be nuts, and also Venom provides all the symbiotes defense up when he's at high health. I don't know who I would swap out, either Minerva or Hela. One thing you can see is that I'm not really using Turn the Tables all that much. There's a couple reasons for that. It's a really, really good move, especially in player versus player, but it's not that important for this because the Dark Dimension 2 characters aren't that high of attack. They just have really high health pools. So yeah, you can see I just cleared that, no problem. Didn't even take really any damage. I think all my guys are at full health. But yeah, they don't have that high of attack, so really it's just prompting my own guys to attack them. And then they're not really getting that many positive effects on themselves because... at least so far, because they've been slowed so much that it doesn't even really do anything. They're never really able to get those out. They are getting positive effects out every once in a while, and her basic can still clear those. So that's why I've been doing it. It also clears her at diamond form. When she's in diamond form, she's just a lot tankier.